on Joburg today, and in a new feature to our coverage of the city, every week my colleague Noshina Mohammed will take a Joburger for a cab ride. They'll talk about serious issues while enjoying the landscape and scenery of this incredible city. And in Cab Talk Extra, you too can be a part of the conversation. So write to us, tell us more about yourself and where you are. We may just get Noshina to come pick you up. On Joburg today, we're talking nature and adventure. Later on in the show, I speak to two Joburgers taking part in this year's Put Foot Rally. But first up, we visited the Walter Sisulu National Botanical Garden, where several generations of the endangered black eagle have been breeding for many years.
The history of these birds, goes back to 1940s. Over here at this waterfall, in this garden, the only pair that we know to have been breeding in this area is those black eagles. What happens with these birds is that once the young ones are grown, they will leave the area. Only the pair will stay here. So in other words, the male and the female will stay in the area. So there's only one pair. They can get as old as up to 30 to 50 years. They can get bigger. Like for an example, the female may weight about 4.5 kg. I must say that in their history, they have been very successful. In 1996, I think they were not successful. 1998, if I'm not mistaken, and in 2000. They breed once, a year. It's once a year. So for an example, starting in around February each year, they will start rebuilding their nest and so on and so forth. Then followed by laying the eggs and so on. Black eagle eggs are laid 4 days apart. So if the first egg is laid today, the other one will then be laid after, let's say, 4 days. What happens is that the first chick to hatch becomes stronger, and then immediately when the other chick, hatches, then that's when the Cain and Abel struggle starts. Then the older chick will then be, attacking the young one until it kills it. 2013 was an interesting year for us. They had their normal, breeding cycle, wherein they laid their eggs, which starts around April, May every year. But unfortunately, the very first breeding cycle did not go well. So after those first eggs did not hatch, they then have the second, attempt, wherein they then laid other eggs again. The first one, don't think it hatched, but the other one hatched, which is where we got, messy. On public holidays and on weekends, we have got Black Eagle Project people that are, stationed in this area, wherein they will be having, all the scopes and everything showing to the nest and wherever the black eagles will be, perched or seated around the area, so that people can have a closer view of the black eagles.
This is Wayne, and you're watching Joburg Today.
Joining me now in studio are Ashley Young and Benny Kruger. Ashley and Benny are going to, as they say, seemingly take on the impossible when they take a 42-year-old car 8,000 kilometers around 5 countries on the continent. Hey guys, thank you so much for being here today. You've entered the Put Foot Rally. What is this all about?
Basically, the Put Foot Rally is a social rally that spans over 5 African continents. It involves countries. It involves roughly 60 teams traveling through the countries, and then there's also a charity side of it where the teams are handing out shoes to less fortunate children in Africa.
Tell us about this car, because on your website, the car features prominently, the car that you're going to be taking around. It is a 42-year-old car. You bought this car a while ago, Ashley, and this was the intention, that you were going to drive it around the continent.
Yeah, I bought it in 2012, 2 years ago. I liked it because it had a big boot. It's a panel van. And I bought it so that I could drive it through Africa. I don't know why. I just wanted it. But it's quite an old car. He's in the shop at the moment getting fixed up because there's quite a few things wrong once you're 42 years old. And his name is Gulliver, after Gulliver Travels, so that he can go traveling with us.
Fitting name. So let's talk about, the adventure itself. This is going to be, as you say here, 18 days, 8,000 kilometers. What does this entail? Driving throughout, or is there going to be a bit of stop and start?
No, it is stop and start. Basically, you start on the first day, everyone departs from Cape Town, and then you've got a couple of days, I think it's about 5 days, to the first checkpoint in Namibia. Then all the teams meet up there, they all drive on their own route, own pace that they want to take, and then everyone meets up at the first checkpoint, and then from there, the next morning, everyone departs again, and then you've got another couple of days to get to the next checkpoint in the next country.
And you say that this isn't a race.
No, it's not a race. It's a social rally, just an adventure to explore the countries and prove that it's possible to go into Africa without a 4x4, and it's safe and affordable and totally accessible.
And there is, as you said, a charity aspect to this whole thing. So we're going to talk about the donations in a minute, but some of this, there is a charity aspect where you guys are going to be driving around and giving out shoes.
Yes. Yeah, there's basically shoe drops at some of the checkpoints where the next morning after the checkpoints, all the teams get together. I think it's usually at a school in the local community where they then join the people from the Put Foot Foundation to hand out shoes to the less fortunate children.
Yeah, school shoes.
Mm-hmm. And in as much as this is an adventure, it hasn't been easy, particularly getting donations.
No.
Tell us about that and why you need those donations.
Well, firstly, to fix the car up cost us a couple of rand to just make sure that it will actually make it. And then other than that, stuff like supplies, camping gear that we need to actually get through, and the petrol.
And the petrol. Okay. And how much do you think that you're going to need for that? What kind of money are we talking about?
You were working on the budget, I'm not sure.
Well, petrol alone is quite a lot of money because, I mean, the price has gone up quite a bit. So it's we're working on about a rand a kilometre at the moment. A little bit over because we don't know how it's going to be, but about 8,000 rand of petrol, roughly.
Before I let you go, how do people keep tabs with what you're doing? If people want to give you guys those donations, how do they do that?
So they can follow us on Twitter, at Mini Africa is our Twitter handle. And then we're also on Facebook. The group is Team Cool Running's Put Foot 2014. And then they can also have a look at our website, www.minithroughafrica.co.za, where they can follow and see what's going on with us.
My last question, when's the race?
June 2014, June this year. So we'll be leaving just after Youth Day, the 17th of June.
Yeah.
Great, we wish you all the best.
Thank you so much.
Thanks guys for being here.
I'm Rizwan. This is Joburg Today.
And that's it for this episode of Joburg Today. But as always, all questions, comments and feedback are welcome. Let's connect on social media. Follow us on Twitter at Joburg Today. Like us on Facebook, joburgtoday.tv. You can also follow me on Twitter. That's at Christine J Today. Also, it doesn't end here. Stay on our site. If you click on the special focus section, you will have access to our additional coverage of the city. We play out today's show with Runaway Train by the Hins Brothers. Till tomorrow, it's bye for now.
Balcony TV. Welcome back to Balcony TV Johannesburg. I'm your host, Julian. We hang out live at Randlord's in the heart of Josie on a beautiful summer's day. And we hang out with the Hines Brothers. How you guys doing?
Good, thanks, Julian.
I've got your album in my pocket, brand new, just released.
How did you fit that in there?
Dude, I got a special pocket just for CDs. I walk around stealing all the artists' CDs. Yeah, baby. All right, so what song are you guys going to play for us off Ocean of Milk?
We're going to play the opening track of Ocean of Milk called Runaway Train.
Take it away.
Change my name, it's what I had to do, you see. Living life in great confusion, to find a way to live at peace eternally, to get out of my illusion. Some days like a runaway train, some days I can't remember my new name. Some days like a runaway train. I've seen the faults, I've seen the light. I looked into my Father's eyes. Blindness is my real disguise. We all must live, we all must die. Doing all that we can to please ourselves, not thinking of tomorrow. Forgetting who we are, we think we're what is not. Beg and steal and borrow. Some days like a runaway train. Some days I can't remember my new name. Some days like a runaway train. I've seen the faults, I've seen the light. I looked into my Father's eyes. Blindness is my real disguise. We all must live, we all must die. Some change gotta come my way before I fall outside. We could wait for another day, but that would not be right. That would not be right. I've seen faults, I've seen the light. Oh Lord, I looked into my Father's eyes. Blindness is my real disguise. We all must live, we all must die. I've seen faults, I've seen the light. Oh Lord, I looked into my Father's eyes. Blindness is my real disguise. We all must live, we all must die.